Welcome to Season 2 of the Crypto Pulse podcast, your ultimate guide to the world of crypto, Bitcoin, and world economics. We're here to guide you through the crypto universe with thought-provoking topics, in-depth knowledge, and information to help you make informed decisions. We'll also be interviewing some of the best minds in the industry, such as CEOs of crypto projects, traders, economists, authors, and development teams from around the globe. And now for the episode.
This episode is brought to you by Yield app. Earn daily compounding interest on your digital assets with its intuitive web platform. And don't forget to refer your friends to earn extra rewards. Visit yield.app for more information. Kevin Meyer, welcome to Crypto Pulse. We are so excited to have you here today. I put a tweet out a few weeks back asking the wonderful world of crypto Twitter what they thought about Zilliqa, and it kind of then turned into this huge viral tweet, and then we were suggested that we get you on the show to talk about the platform and the blockchain and what you guys are doing. So we are really pleased to have you here.
Thanks a lot, and it's my pleasure actually to join you mostly on this IMA, and it's really nice to have you.
It's a pleasure. We try and get some of the best blockchain projects in the world on the show, and I think we definitely put Zilliqa up there. Although Ben and I aren't enormously familiar with the project, we've done a lot of reading and watching of different videos about it, so we've got plenty of questions. And I know your community are pretty crazy as well, so I think this should be a really fun episode.
The good kind of crazy, the best kind of crazy. Yeah, actually, I mean, they're like the biggest supporters of you guys.
Just as a community of Zilliqa, actually, you guys are amazing, and I always love to chat with you.
Yeah, the Zilliqa community have followed a lot of our stuff now as well, which is great. So if you're new to the show and you've just tuned in to listen to this because it's an interview with Zilliqa, then thank you for tuning in. And on that note, really, we wanted to keep this episode a bit of a mixture because I know there'll be people listening that are really, really familiar with the project and know what you're doing and are looking for some of the juicy gossip and some of the latest updates. And there'll be other people that have no idea what you're doing. So maybe we should just start by asking you, what is Zilliqa, how is it different, and what are some of the problems you're trying to solve?
That's a good question. So Zilliqa was the pioneer in the sharding method as a layer 1.
Right.
We are a full new ecosystem that's built directly now, and let's say now for the future, around the gaming side. Why the gaming side, you will tell me? Because so far, every blockchain has gone into the gaming side were not so successful. What we've done and what we are doing right now is to focus more as the competitive blockchain, like for the esport partnership we have. At the same time, we're going to soon open a new metaverse that people can join, chill together, as a fun universe mostly with our esport teams. And this is going to be massive. The second part is now, and I can talk about that, we are building a new FPS game on Zilliqa that people will be able to try, to play, and to have fun mostly. And on the same time, our DeFi ecosystem is growing a lot. I was a yield farmer, and I can tell you guys it's going to be exciting.
Okay, so what I found really interesting about Zilliqa is some of the technology behind it. So you mentioned sharding, and we've been talking a lot in the past on the show about proof of work versus proof of stake. But Zilliqa uses something different compared to proof of work or proof of stake. So could you talk a little bit about some of the technology that's been used from a layman's perspective, so what it is and what it means, and how that's been built and why it's been done that way?
Absolutely. For the building and all the tech side, I cannot go too much in details because I don't want to say stuff that I doesn't know.
Give away the secrets.
Exactly. But at the same time, Zilliqa is a proof of stake and a proof of work. So that means you can mine Zil to validate some transaction and be sure that the network is sustainable. And at the same time, you can stack the Zil to validate and make the transaction more easier and faster. And this so far doesn't exist in any blockchain. Maybe Ethereum soon, but this is another story.
Right? Yeah, I think I saw that Ethereum had a successful launch on the testnet for something they were updating to solve for the scalability problem. But I mean, they seem to just be moving at a snail's pace. But it is one of the biggest problems, isn't it? I mean, this scalability for layers. One, it seems to be the thing that blockchains are really trying to solve for now. So just to give us kind of an example, I mean, how scalable is Zilliqa? You know, is it infinitely scalable? How big could it get?
For this question, it's actually super interesting, but it cannot be scalable as infinite. No blockchain can be infinitely scalable. But absolutely, you're right. Let's say so far we are making more tests to grow our ecosystem as the node, as how many people can mine it, and at the same time we try to be eco-friendly. That means carbon offset. We are burning, so it's a test, it's an alpha leak just for you guys, but we are still trying to burn as much as possible some ZIL token to be carbon offset, to be, let's say, environmentally friendly.
Nice.
This is super hard as a blockchain because you need to calculate how much kilowatt is expended every year, and basically to burn this kind of mechanism. So a lot of things are going in, let's say, the tech side, but I cannot reveal everything.
But you don't have to reveal everything. That's fine. I really want people to understand what sharding is and how that works.
From what I understand with sharding, it's you kind of take all of your miners, and to increase the number of transactions that you're able to put through the blockchain, you have the ability to separate them off and run them as parallel blockchains to increase the throughput of the network. Is that right?
Absolutely, cool. Absolutely. For that, you're absolutely right. And that's why Zilliqa so far is one of the cheapest blockchain. Of course, it's not the cheapest blockchain, but it's one on the top of the cheapest blockchain to use. And as an example, just to make any transaction, it costs you 10 ZIL, which is almost nothing.
Yeah.
And of course, if the price of the ZIL increase, we have a mechanism that will lower the fees spent. And this so far doesn't exist in a lot of blockchain.
Nice. So you guys with Zilliqa, I mean, you're trying to tackle a bunch of different things, right? I mean, you're building for the NFT and creator economy, building for decentralized finance. How are you building for all these different things, and what's kind of happening? What's kind of happening in that space?
That's a great question, actually. So right now we have different projects that we are building. For the NFT part, we are building a project that's named Rialto. Our main goal is to link the virtual world with the real world. Imagine if you buy an NFT shirt, and it's a unique piece, and at the same time with Rialto, you will be able to receive it in real life.
Wow.
This is something that doesn't exist, actually.
Okay.
And at the same time, we are trying to link it with our ecosystem on the metaverse. So that means this NFT, you will be able to wear it in our metaverse and at the same time receive it in real life.
So a real physical t-shirt. So let's say it's a t-shirt. It's a real physical t-shirt that's going to come in the post to my house.
Exactly. Okay. And we are still building around all this, but mostly we are targeting for the world of art.
Yeah.
And what I mean art, let's say we have a lot of different artists we are already working on, and the main goal is to buy the NFT as a piece of art and receive it in real life. And this so far doesn't exist in any other blockchain.
Yeah, it's that's a pretty interesting concept. I mean, I won't even get into how you build something like that, but presumably you go out and work with artists that are already creating artwork, and then you sort of
absolutely.
Okay. That's interesting. And talk to me a little bit more about the some of the metaverse stuff that you guys are working on, because I read that you're thinking about building metaverses, augmented reality technology.
We are focused on expanding the metaverse as different universe. Our metaverse name is Metapolis, but inside Metapolis you will have different city. On each of the city, you can of course walk around all of them, visit them, have interaction with other players, visit their NFT collection, and at the same time, some of it's maybe an alpha league, but well, let's have fun.
Give us all the alpha leagues.
Some of our partnership are opening their own city in actually Metapolis.
Ooh.
The good things is it's a kind of fan universe where all the fans of our different partners will be able to meet, to talk about the matches of our different partners like esports team, and of course to interact with the players, to have some mini games to play on, to have some fun together. Let's say the virtual reality is the next big thing that will happen. So far, we had the Web 1, we had the Web 2, now we have the Web 3, but this, I see it as the Web 4.
Yeah, I think you're right. We talk about this on the show quite often. I mean, when metaverse technology and augmented reality and virtual reality get to a certain level, I think you're going to have the integration of, you know, all the different Web 2, Web 3 and beyond in a single sort of digital space, which is really exciting. Is that kind of what you guys are building for then, that sort of future?
Absolutely. You exactly resume it perfectly. This is where we're aiming, to bring all the people together, to have some different interaction together. Imagine if you have a nice NFT collection that you bought on Rialto. Unfortunately, you cannot show it to your friends who live in Taiwan or any other place in the world. But you still want to show him what you have. You can invite him in your special room, show him your NFT collection, and he understands that you have the same in your house. And this is something crazy at the same time.
Nice.
At the same time, you can go directly to our different fan universe, and if you have some favorite team, you can talk directly with other fans about that. Yes, they made an amazing match. It was incredible to watch. They will love it. And I can tell you, it's going to be massive. And the interaction with all this fan universe, with the different, let's say, dojos that they are building, some different domes, some different cities around this. Trust me, it's really big things.
Yeah, it sounds huge. Really exciting stuff. And presumably, you have to have an incredibly scalable platform to be able to build something like that, right?
I think that's one of the critical things, is that because hasn't Zilliqa been around since 2017? Is that when the project was started? Is that correct?
Exactly. We are, as a lot of people knows, we are kind of whole blockchain, but at the same time, we are aiming for the futures. We are all the time saying, what can we implement to see for long-term vision? Not only being a blockchain like that's validate transactions, that's create a kind of ecosystem, but we are seeing for the future of our ecosystem, how it can evolve, where we can aim for it, and what we can do for the future mostly, how to link people together. Unfortunately, we had the COVID crisis. People could not join themselves, not interact with themselves. But now, with the metaverse, they will all be able to join, to watch a movie together, to talk together, to make different mini games together, to even play together. And it's going to be, for me, one of the future aspects of the world.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it's exciting to watch that space change. I mean, we talked about gaming on the show a couple of weeks ago. And we said, you know, you've only got to look at the gaming industry just to see how much that's changed in the last 25 years. You know, I remember, I don't know if you were a gamer, Kevin, but I remember when I was a kid playing on the original PlayStation, and the graphics on those games versus some of the games that are available on the PS5 now. I mean, you know, it's just, it's phenomenal to see how that's changed. And I think the same is going to happen with virtual reality, augmented reality, and metaverse technology. You know, I think we're seeing the kind of the early stages of that now. But to just imagine where that's going to be in 25 years' time, 30 years' time. I mean, we've all kind of seen the movie Ready Player One, right? You know, where everybody's plugged into this incredible metaverse. So what you guys are building is really happening at an exciting time. And I kind of want to touch on that actually, because it's, you know, this is a huge thing. It's a massive undertaking. How are you kind of bringing developers in, and how are you sort of managing your development team? I mean, are they kind of all over the world? What's the setup?
That's the funny things actually at Zilliqa, is we don't have a physical office.
Right.
We are all working all around the world. There is people from Dubai. I'm from Switzerland, as an example.
Nice.
There is people in New York. There is people in literally every country. I will be fully honest. We are spread all around the world. And to work all together, so we are using different tools where we can all communicate. We can all share our ideas. We can share at the same time some bugs that we found, some ideas. And all this is essential for us, because when you are spread all around the world, it's not easy, basically, to share all the ideas. But at Zilliqa, we are open-minded, and we developed some tools that allow us to share all this and to have a track around it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
How many people are in your team, out of interest?
In my personal team or in total?
In the whole organization?
I think that's a good question. Actually, I didn't meet all of them honestly, but I think we are between 60 to 70. I will say.
That's good.
Wow. Okay. And how is this is a bit of a business question? So apologies if you're not sure on the answer, but I'm just interested from a business perspective. Is how has Zilliqa been funded as an organization? Because you're attracting some of the best talent in the world. You're creating things that other companies aren't. So this has obviously required a lot of investment. So how has the project, the business, been able to fund all of this development, especially through, some of these more turbulent times?
That's a good question, actually. I know that Zilliqa raised a lot of funds from different investor perspectives. There was many discussion around that. How to explain it properly? I don't want to say any mistake at the same time because my team for sure is listening. But let's say that there was a lot of raising funds. Zilliqa is sustainable for the future. We have enough money to survive every market condition, and we still can recruit and develop many more projects. As an example, if you have great projects that you want to develop on Zilliqa, you can ask Zilhive, which is our incubator. And if the project seems really good, we can help you to develop it with more marketing side, developers, and at the same time give you a grant to push it up.
That's
interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And that kind of leads me on to my next question, because we speak to people all the time who are like, why would you want to be building stuff in a bear market? Nobody's interested, like all the hype has gone, there's nobody around, why bother? And we always say it's the best time. It's the best time to start building. I mean, I was going to ask, how are you guys kind of encouraging developers to start building now? Like, how are you supporting them? I mean, you obviously said the grant.
Honestly, that's a really good question, because honestly for me, I don't check the price, I don't check the market condition. It can be go to 1000x or drop like never. Yeah. I don't care, because I prefer to build. I prefer to be focused on what kind of project can we emerge, let's say, and create all together. The good thing is the developers, when they apply for Zilhive, we try to help them as much as possible. But not only, I help a lot of projects that didn't go to Zilhive and literally gone, started to read all the documentation and develop on it. Yeah. Some decks are done like this on Zilliqa, and which is really interesting, because first of all, that's mean people want to build on Zilliqa. There is many reasons for the technology behind it, but at the same time, because the community is helping them. And whenever you build a project on Zilliqa, you can be sure that the community will look deeply for it and will help you.
I want to say a big thank you to YieldApp for sponsoring this podcast. Now, we may be in the midst of a bear market, but that's no reason to stop earning on your digital assets. YieldApp allows you to earn daily compounding interest on the biggest digital assets at the click of a button. YieldApp is a licensed fintech company built by a team with a strong background in traditional finance. YieldApp offers instant asset conversions, fiat on-ramp, auto compounding, and security features such as activity log, transaction history, and more. Simply deposit your digital assets and click to start earning daily rewards. And you can earn up to 1,000 of their native token, YLD, by referring your friends to YieldApp. You will also automatically join their monthly referral competition for a chance to win massive prizes.
I was going to say, I think that's the strength of building on a platform like Zilliqa, right? Is that you have such an enormous community of people that love and feel passionate about what you're building. And that's sometimes half the battle when you're building a new project, is kind of getting that support and getting people behind you. But it's great that you guys have that community piece, and you're also giving them a grant. You're actually giving them money to build. I think, it's impressive.
Absolutely. I mean, when we say money, sometimes I should not reveal the amount, but let's say it can go from 25 to 100,000, depending on the serious of the project. Yeah. And at the same time, what is their expectation? Sometimes some projects are so good expectations that we want to help them to develop, to push them on the marketing side. And at the same time, the community love it. And they know that when a new project emerged and it was chosen by us, that means the project is super serious.
This is one of the really cool things about building something on a blockchain like Zilliqa, is that it's like nothing else we've ever had before, because you get the support of all of the Zilliqa community, you get the support of all of the Zilliqa team, and like as you mentioned, the grants, etc. And that hasn't really existed very much in Web 2. Particularly because people have just been building using open source software, or maybe they're building on some kind of app or platform that you can maybe change some of the bits on, but they don't have that community effect as well. So I think that's just something that is really fascinating, is going to help this whole entire ecosystem grow. How many projects have been built on Zilliqa, like roughly? Have you got any idea? I know I'm going to put you on the spot there, but I'm just interested. Is it like hundreds or thousands? It's like how many?
So we are from Zilliqa, if I remember, there was like 70 projects that's still going on right now.
Yeah,
getting getting pushed. But just before you, Kevin, you mentioned something really interesting. In the Web 2, everything is open source. Let's say you can literally copy the code. It's the same in other blockchain most of the time. You can literally fork any application, duplicate it on the blockchain when they are EVM compatible. Soon Zilliqa will be also EVM compatible, so that means more developers will join us to try to basically fork different applications also. So our ecosystem will, let's say, grow a lot and really soon. And for that, the number exactly of the project, for any listeners, I invite you to use Zilstream. It's our kind of explorer for knowing every project.
Oh, okay.
It's really useful.
Zilstream,
I'm
you
on
said.
it. I'm on it now. I'm taking a look.
Okay, I didn't know about this.
Nice. Okay, well, there's so
and they are
much.
not yet listed. And they are not yet listed all.
There's loads here.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And that actually, I think, is probably a good segue into asking you some of the community questions, because we put out a tweet just asking the Zilliqa community to come to us with some questions. I mean, there were hundreds, and we obviously can't get through. We obviously can't get through them all. But when moon. That's always a popular one. We got a few of those.
So when moon,
yeah, that's the question for everyone.
Yeah. Well, we always just say at some point in the future. At some point, it's coming. But yeah, the first question comes from @Depley3 on Twitter, who asks, "What are your strategies around attracting new projects to build on Zilliqa?" And I guess we've kind of touched on that with you've got the grants, you've got the community support. You've also got Zilstream. But is there anything else that you guys are doing on the tech side?
So we have Zilhive, we have the Scylla cookbook for if you are developers and you want to know how to interact with the different smart contracts on Scylla, which is our language for developing. You can all the time submit your application as a project to Zilhive. They will definitely help you review your case, and if we can, let's say, help you in any way as the marketing, as to bring you a grant and anything, just submit it here. And of course, with a huge pleasure, we're going to help you.
Amazing. Yeah, that really helps. And the other question, which I think, you haven't quite answered this one yet. So will there be any grants or a pool of funds available to support new or existing projects to build in the Metapolis?
Aha! That's a tricky question. But yeah, absolutely. Because I cannot talk in the behalf of the Metapolis team. But I know that soon we are looking for that. And we are already starting to build internally a strategy around all this.
Nice. Okay. I mean, it makes sense, right? You're doing it for other developers, so it would make sense you'd support on this too. But okay, that's cool. Next question comes from @Jim Linson, again on Twitter, asks if there will be any plans for increased utility for GZIL, the governance Zilliqa coin.
Absolutely. The GZIL is our governance token. We are working on it. We are developing on it. So far, I know that the Zilliqa team didn't speak a lot around that, didn't mention it so much. But yeah, absolutely, we are still building a lot on it. We are giving it more utility. No worries. We're soon going to keep you updated. But there is a lot from the inside that I wish I could reveal. But of course, I don't want to have my team behind me telling me, you revealed too much.
You shouldn't have said it. You shouldn't have said that. Yeah, no, that's cool. I think you've given us some free alpha anyway.
Could you just explain what the GZIL token is? Like we've heard of governance tokens in other projects, but what is the purpose and utility of the GZIL token?
So the GZIL token is our governance token. So far, let's say you can submit different ideas of governments. It's work with a snapshot and how to explain? Basically, because I don't want to leak what will be the future of the GZIL, and at the same time, I wish I could. So I'm kinda in two places at the same time.
Let's just say it's going to be good. We can say that it's going to be really good.
It's going to be massive.
Like what it does now, I guess. Is there any utility of it at this current moment?
There is already some utility, but we are working to develop much more utility around this.
Nice. Okay. So people interested in the governance token should just wait for some news, and it's going to be big.
Absolutely. Right. No, the GZIL going to be massive.
Okay, awesome. That's good. A final question from the community is at Zil Crusader asks what the roadmap looks like for the Metapolis development release. And I know you said earlier you can't speak too much about this, but is there anything you can give us?
So far, we are still building a lot on the Metapolis. When I say building, that means we make the different interaction. We are trying to find every bug possible. Because there is nothing more frustrating to give a product to someone and there is a bug in it.
Yeah.
I think you agree, guys.
Totally, yeah.
So our main focus is literally to discover every bug, to have no bug at all. We are already starting to make all the alpha tests and the beta tests too. We are building it internally with almost everyone in Zilliqa trying it, making every interaction possible, trying to find any bugs. That happens that time to time we find a bug and we try to correct it immediately. That's why, let's say so far we didn't reveal any date, because as soon as we discover more bug, we cannot say, we're gonna
we're just gonna put it out anyway. We're just
exactly. Right. It will happen.
Enjoy.
It will happen soon, but we want to be sure that there is no bug, that the full integration of every perspective for the user will be the best.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. I see so many blockchain projects that have rushed projects out or not really audited the code, not looked for bugs, and I mean, it only makes things worse in the future, doesn't it? You know, people start to build on these things and then all of a sudden they realize there are vulnerabilities and things don't work. And I mean, from everything I've seen with you guys, you know, building really good, solid technology seems to be a priority for you.
Exactly. Imagine if we release Metapolis in general. You enter into Zilliqa city. You can cross the same door 1,000 times. But at the 1,001 time, you cannot cross it due to a bug. And you'll be like, why? And this is the main focus for us, to fix anything possible, to be sure that everything is smooth. You can literally enjoy it. And that's our main focus.
That's awesome. So people can be safe in knowing that when this thing lands, when this thing is released, it's going to be the best experience.
Exactly.
Nice. Okay. And just a final one on the community is for some of our listeners that are perhaps interested in what you guys are building, how could they get involved? Where can they find you?
So I will reveal one of the projects that I'm working on right now at Zilliqa. You probably seen recently on Twitter, we released a teaser for our FBs Shoot game. I will not even reveal the name yet because it's a surprise. But what I already said to a few community members is that it's going to be massive. It's going to be super competitive. I was a pro gamer at Counter-Strike. So with my previous experience, my main focus is to build a great shooter. And basically that people have fun. with a kind of skill to earn, not a play to earn, but skill to earn.
Yeah.
Where basically, if you are good at the game, you will get some tokens, some new NFTs, and you will be able to basically sell it, buy it, lend it. All this will be integrated. We are building to make it super smooth. I don't know if I can reveal it, but basically the server we are testing it. I will not give any numbers, but it will be the same as Faceit and ESA on Counter-Strike for the tick rate.
Wow.
I didn't reveal any
No.
numbers.
No. You did.
If you are
You didn't
smart
have
enough,
to.
you make your
But
research.
people can Google.
You'd be very careful not to reveal too much at all. And I understand it. You know, you guys are building some technology here, which is really groundbreaking. And I understand that you want to release and announce these things in good time, and you don't want to announce something that isn't ready yet. So I appreciate that. But we'll definitely be looking out for that for sure.
Just to give the back inside, so far we are doing the alpha test internally. Soon we're going to make the beta test close with our families, our friends who are gamers. Okay. Maybe you, if you want to join, guys, feel free. And
I might not be any good, but I'll give it a go for sure.
You will have fun and you will enjoy it, trust me. And the good thing is, as soon as we're going to open the beta, when the beta will be open, you just need to connect to a special website that we're going to drop. And you will be a part of the whitelist. And all the people from this whitelist will be able to try the game to use it at his full potential.
Oh, okay.
And from that beta, we just ask the community members to give us a feedback. If it's honest, if it's bad, if it's great, if you had fun, if you hated this, and why. Because then we can literally work on this and be like, okay, what they didn't like? What do they like it? And from that, we're going to release the game.
All right.
To make it the best possible.
I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this.
You'll be good at it, Ben. I reckon. I think. Is it? Do you play against the machine, or is it a multiplayer experience?
It will be fully and only multiplayer experience.
Right.
Our main goal is to put it only as the multiplayer experience. We don't want people to. I mean, of course, you will have a training mode where you will be able to face some bots, but the main focus is only the multiplayer.
That's fun. Then we should definitely try it out.
Yeah, maybe we'll do some live stream or something, and we'll watch us get shot to death. Yeah.
I simply wish I could reveal everything around it.
Yeah, I know. I would love it. I can see how much you want to say.
But you will love it, I can tell you. I'm really working days and nights on this. I can tell you, I'm testing every day a new version. Yeah. And every time I'm loving it. It's simply so fun to kill your teammate, the person with who you are working every day, to kill him into the multiplayer test. Yeah, it's really glorious.
Yeah, I've worked with some people where that might have been good. But you used to be a pro gamer though, right?
Absolutely.
So you know what a good game is. You know
exactly.
Okay. Well, high hopes then. I'm looking forward to it.
I think honestly, a lot of people that aren't from a gaming background underestimate the size of the gaming market in Web3, and you mentioned Web4 earlier. But Ben and I did one of our weekly episodes. It was last weekend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We spoke about blockchain and gaming, and I made a comment that I think this whole sector could really drive the next bull run, because I think when some of these traditional gaming development teams get involved in building on these platforms, it's gonna absolutely explode and create a whole new ecosystem. I mean, did you ever think that this would be possible when you were a pro gamer? Did you ever? I guess as a pro gamer, you can win money and get paid to game, but not in this way. You know, this is open to everybody. So did you ever think that this would become a reality?
I love this question, simply because I remember when I was playing 1.6 and we go to LAN tournament, we were playing for a ridiculous cash pool price, let's say. Sometimes we were paying by beer. Like at the end of the tournament, we were opening the beers we want. And now when I see the tournament, let's say of Counter-Strike, of Dota, of any game, and they are paid million, it's already, I love it. Honestly, I love it. I'm like, guys, this grew up so much. And for the future, seeing it's possible on the blockchain, in 2013, when I joined the Bitcoin, I would have never expected that possible. But now, I absolutely, and no doubt about that it will be massive. It could absolutely, I don't want to say push the bull run, the next bull run, but yeah, it could be absolutely linked. The play to earn, the real play to earn mechanism with competitive, with the skills to earn also, where we reward the good players. That's going to be massive. I have no doubt about that.
Do you think? Oh, just a last question for me. Do you think that that blockchain and Web3 will open up those opportunities to people across the world that might not have had the opportunity to be a pro gamer previously?
Absolutely, absolutely. The main issue right now that I find with the pro gaming is like, if you don't stream, no one will know you. You can be the best at the game. You can have the best stats around this game, be the best killer on, let's say, Apex Legends, Counter-Strike, Call of Duty. But if you are not streaming, no one know you. Right. And no team want to recruit you. The good things is with the blockchain, everything is literally coded into a smart contract. So this player, everyone can know that he is so good. Everyone can check his stats. Everyone knows how he is playing. And this will be massive. Of course, let's say if you're an Indian guy that's playing every day and you are super good, and an American team start to notice you, it can be massive for you, for your career. And this will be only possible with the Web3, because no one can spot that except by Twitch.
Yeah, and I also suppose that it'll allow you to play anonymously, right? I mean, you could build a whole anonymous team based on nothing but their player stats.
Yeah, that's a bit crazy to think about, actually. I love it. I love how this space, you know, it started off with peer-to-peer money, so people without bank accounts could have access to money through Bitcoin. Then there were various forks of that and different cryptocurrencies, and then it's come to this where it's opening up the gaming space to people across the world, and you know, it creates an equality of opportunity, which is what, you know, we certainly stand for. And I think it's a really cool thing that's happening, because, you know, I have worried about like where we're heading with technology, and I think too much technology and too much gaming and too much metaverse isn't going to be a good thing. But I think it's a great thing if people do it in moderation, and it's a great thing if people have a talent and a skill for gaming, but they wouldn't have the opportunity otherwise, because maybe they're, you know, live in a country where it wasn't possible, or, you know, they're, for whatever reason. So I think this is going to be super exciting. I honestly think the gaming sector is really going to drive this space massively.
Absolutely, you're really right about that. You know, my main struggle with actually the Web3 is I could not find a real game like I was used to play as a Counter-Strike, let's say, as Apex Legends, as a FPS shooter. And the fact that now at Zilliqa we are building one, and I see the project, where it goes, with the good advisor as our esports team as a partnership. At the same time, our developers were the best one in the category. And when I say the best ones, they worked for the biggest triple A. And now that I see where we are going, I'm super excited. And you're absolutely right. People will be really excited about all this technology around this.
Yeah. It's going to be huge. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes, and particularly how Zilliqa play a part in that space. Kevin, just to kind of wrap up today's episode, something that we always love to ask our guests about is kind of, what is it that you're most excited about? And I think I probably know the answer to this, but what is it that you're most excited about, whether it be at Zilliqa or kind of the future of technology generally? What are you most looking forward to?
Honestly, that's an amazing question. The reason, I can quickly say something in the background and you will understand where my answer lies. Why I joined the Bitcoin in 2013. If you will transfer some money from, let's say, Switzerland to France, you transfer 1,000 euro. The banks take 100 from this transfer. But with my family, when I transfer 1,000 euro in the blockchain, I pay only 30 cents. Is that not crazy? Yes. And that's where, for the future, I'm super excited, because that means the more transactions there will be around the whole world, people will spend less money by this. And the second answer will be, of course, about our gaming. But that you already expected it.
I kind of did expect that. Yeah, it's always good to hear, because I find people that are in this space now, there's always something that happened that got them into the rabbit hole that is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and blockchain. And it's always fascinating to hear our guest perspective. But yeah, it's been brilliant having you on the show. We've really loved speaking to you. Zilliqa is an incredible project with an awesome community. Just finally, actually, on this for our listeners that have not heard about you guys before, what are your social media links and how can they how can they find you online?
So you can find us on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. We are almost everywhere, on Discord also. Just type Zilliqa on Google and you can find us. We are here and with a huge pleasure join our amazing community. You will love it.
Perfect. Yeah, I just checked the footer of your website. All of the links are in there. And of course, we'll include the web address in the show notes. So yeah, Kevin, thanks again for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. We're looking forward to following the journey and we can't wait to have you guys back on the show in the future.
Thanks a lot for inviting me. It was really my pleasure to share all this information with you. You are amazing. Keep continuing what you are doing because you are the best for that. Wish you the best, guys.
Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks again.
Thanks so much.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. It would mean the world to us if you could leave a review wherever you're listening. This really does help and allows other people to find us online. You can keep up to date with new releases of the podcast by subscribing and following us on Twitter or Instagram for the latest crypto-related news. Information provided by Crypto Pulse via this podcast, website, social media channels, and any other medium does not constitute financial advice, investment recommendations, or any other type of advice whatsoever. The Crypto Pulse team are not professional financial advisors. Trading and purchasing cryptocurrencies do carry risks, and anybody wishing to partake in such activities should seek professional advice.